So interesting when the Vikings actually get a hold of a good young offensive lineman and you hold it and pet it and massage it and you're like, I love Brian O'Neill. He's an absolute stud. He's completely cleansing the numero 75 when it comes to offensive tackles for the Vikings. And it started off pretty auspiciously. A lot of Vikings fans were upset that the Vikings settled for Brian O'Neill at pick 62 at the bottom of the second round in the 2018 draft because everyone's still upset. Wow, what about Will Hernandez? Yeah. But Brian O'Neill, he was the beta test version of Ezra Cleveland. You have this long, tall, athletic, as hell tackle who's perfect in his own scheme. Could probably afford to eat a Juicy Lucy or two, add on a little bit of weight, right? But I remember seeing him in camp as a rookie. And just the insanity of his athleticism, how he got into pass sets, underrated anchor, him getting second and third level is just... Baby, we got a stew going. We got ourselves a tackle. Let's get after it. And then rookie year, stepped in for an injured Rashad Hill and performed admirably. 31 pressures allowed, 0 sacks on 531 pass blocking snaps, a 65.5 PFF pass blocking grade. And it's like, all right, this is a pretty nice rookie season, especially when his right guard next to him was Mike Remmers, who was bad. Mike Remmers was very, very bad, right? And then last offseason spent it in the weight room. Do you know where the weight room is? It's our second Chris Farley reference of the video. I love it. Adding size, downing 6,000 calories a day, packing on some weight to the haunches. It was great. And then he was an absolute rock star in 2019. He was brilliant. Brian O'Neill. Here's a stat for you. Brian O'Neill led all qualifying tackles last year in fewest pressures allowed at 19. So qualifying means played over a certain number of snaps because you could say Rashad Hill led the league in pressures allowed because he played like 5 snaps. Yeah, but that 19. Fewer than Orlando Brown Jr., fewer than All-Pros Ryan Ramczyk and Mitchell Schwartz. All three considered among the best right tackles in the game. Like, you easily make the case that Brian O'Neill was the Vikings' best offensive lineman last year. Or, hell, even over the past 2 years, if we're being honest. And then the added size and full dedication to that zone scheme allowed him to become the 6th highest grade right tackle in run blocking. And you have to think that will continue on with the continuity with Kubiak and Dennison and the commitment to the run game. Brian O'Neill is just going to get better and better and better. And O'Neill is already probably say top 5, top 7 right tackles in the game. He's certainly in that conversation. So I think in 2020 he's going to take another massive leap in year 3 and become an all-pro. That's right. Sometimes I just like pulling it out and just like putting it right on the table. Brian O'Neill will be an all-pro in 2020. Now, it could certainly be a spot where of the 50 all-pro votes, the guy whose first team gets 48 and Brian O'Neill gets 2, and he ends up being second team. That's okay, right? And now I say all-pro versus Pro Bowl because it's really moronic with the Pro Bowl because they do not differentiate between left and right tackle. So they just take 3 tackles. Generally, it's going to be left tackle. So right tackles actually kind of get shafted in the Pro Bowl. All Pro, they do separate it up because they have more than 2 brain cells, which is kind of nice. So last year, first team All Pro was Ryan Ramczyk, the pride of Winona State. Go look that up. As well as Mitchell Schwartz, coming from the Chiefs. Really phenomenal tackle as well. And it will be tough. It will be tough for O'Neill to ascend those ranks. Plus, you got Lane Johnson coming back from a garbage injury season last year. But look at what Brian O'Neill has going for him. Again, second year in the same system, another offseason of added size and added strength. His right guard his rookie year, as we mentioned, was Remmers. His right guard last year was Josh Klein, who was fine, but he did miss a couple of games. So just having a more consistent competency at right guard can only help him, whether that's Jusamia, whether that's Oli Udo, TBD. But I think that's certainly going to help Brian O'Neill on the outside. So I think that Brian O'Neill really does have everything going for him. Like, he had a very solid rookie year, had a phenomenal second year, and then I think he's going to bang it out in year 3, a la what like Ryan Ramczyk did last year, which was his 3rd season in the NFL, just really ascending the heights to becoming one of the best right tackles in the game. So Brian O'Neill, he's in the perfect scheme for him. He's adding strength and just that the continuity. It's just, I'm so excited. I'm really fired up that the Vikings finally have a really good homegrown offensive lineman. I think that entire O-line unit as a whole takes a big step forward, especially if they get Ezra Cleveland in the mix. And it's exciting. I mean, even though Rick ignores the offensive line, the pieces that he's added recently with O'Neill, with Garrett Bradbury, I think, who really steps up in year 2, as well as adding Ezra Cleveland and Drew Samia and Oli Udo and Kyle Chris Hinton. Let's go. Let's get it done. fired up. All right, but your thoughts. Brian O'Neill, All-Pro 2020. O'Neill 2020. That should be a button. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Pull us on the Venmo. Please give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.